mountain communities of Lincoln County and the village of Ruidoso are once again grappling with the terrifying reality of flash flooding, a consequence of relentless monsoonal thunderstorms bearing down on lands scorched by recent wildfires. This follows a deadly and catastrophic flood event in July 2025, painting a grim picture of a region caught in a devastating cycle of fire and flood. The most recent episode of heavy rainfall and subsequent flooding occurred on September 19, 2025, prompting the National Weather Service, NWS, to issue a flash flood warning for southeastern Lincoln County. Forecasters specifically targeted the burn scars from the Blue 2, South Fork, and McBride fires, areas where the landscape has been altered to the point that it can no longer absorb water effectively. The NWS warned of life-threatening flash flooding, with the potential for extensive damage to creeks, streams, and ditches, as well as the washing away of roads and driveways. In response, local authorities took rapid action, closing several roads, including Meckham Drive, Gavilan Canyon Road, and parts of Cree Meadows Drive, to ensure public safety. This recent event is not an isolated incident, but rather the latest chapter in an ongoing crisis. The fragile ecosystem of the region, already ravaged by intense wildfires in previous years, is now susceptible to even moderate rainfall. Typically, soil and vegetation act as natural sponges, but severe, high-intensity fires can render the soil water repellent, increasing the risk of rapid runoff and destructive debris flows. This creates a compounding hazard, where one disaster directly paves the way for another. The most tragic demonstration of this phenomenon occurred just months earlier, on July 8, 2025, when a historic flash flood tore through the village of Ruidoso, claiming 3 lives. In a matter of minutes, the Rio Ruidoso River surged to a record-breaking 20.24 feet, its banks unable to contain the unprecedented wall of water rushing down the canyons. The deluge was a direct result of monsoonal rains falling on the vulnerable burn scars. The devastation was widespread, with floodwaters sweeping away a house, damaging numerous homes and businesses, and leaving a trail of uprooted trees, vehicles, and debris. Emergency crews carried out dozens of swift water rescues, saving many from the dangerous currents. The community's struggle has been immense and deeply personal. Arnold Duke, a longtime Ruidoso resident and owner of the Ruidoso Trading Post, recounted losing multiple boxes of turquoise jewelry in the July flood. Despite the personal loss, he was moved by the overwhelming support of strangers and churches who came to his aid. "We wish the government would be more involved in helping," Duke said, highlighting the community's dependence on external assistance. In response to the severe storms and flooding in July, a FEMA Major Disaster Declaration, DR 4886 NM, was issued, providing public assistance to affected communities. However, the continued and recurring nature of the floods, which have also impacted agricultural communities through damage to the vital acequia irrigation systems, indicates a long road to recovery. The challenges are compounded by the complex and unpredictable nature of the monsoon season, which can bring sudden, intense downpours with little warning. As September draws to a close, residents of Ruidoso and surrounding areas in Lincoln County remain on high alert. The cycle of risk from wildfire to flood is a constant and terrifying reality. The long-term recovery will require not only immediate aid, but also a sustained effort to address the underlying ecological vulnerabilities and mitigate future risks in an era of more frequent and severe weather events. Overall, cities across the desert Southwest receive up to half of their annual precipitation during the monsoon months of June, July, August, and September, but these totals can vary dramatically from year to year. For much of the region, the wet weather pattern fades by mid-September, giving way to drier conditions during the late fall and winter. The remnants of Tropical Storm Mario are helping to energize the threat for heavy rainfall across California, Nevada, and Arizona, but most of the tropical-infused precipitation is expected to stay west of the Ruidoso area. Monsoon rains have once again proven their destructive potential in New Mexico, causing flash flooding that led to temporary disruptions and dangerous conditions along a stretch of Interstate 25 near the Santa Fe metropolitan area during the summer of 2025. While the catastrophic and deadly flooding in the Ruidoso area captured national headlines, commuters and travelers on the state's main north-south highway also faced hazards, highlighting the widespread impact of this year's intense monsoonal weather pattern.
That is wild.
The most significant flooding event affecting I-25 occurred on August 1, 2025, when a flash flood warning was issued for parts of the Santa Fe metro area.
Oh my God.
The National Weather Service, NWS, cited thunderstorms producing heavy, persistent rain, with reports indicating between 0.5 and 1.5 inches of rain had already fallen, and an additional 0.5 to 1.25 inches possible. The warning specifically mentioned Interstate 25 between mile markers 270 and 286, warning of flash flooding impacting urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other low-lying areas. The danger posed by this event was not limited to the highways themselves. The NWS emphasized that arroyos, dry creeks, and streams could quickly become raging, deadly torrents. This is a recurring and severe hazard during New Mexico's monsoon season, as arroyos can fill with water miles from where the rain is actually falling. Drivers were sternly warned to turn around, don't drown, and to be especially cautious at night when recognizing flood risks is more difficult. For motorists on I-25, the August 1st incident served as a stark reminder of the risks associated with summer storms. Heavy rain caused water to pool on the interstate, particularly in areas with poor drainage. While the flooding did not lead to prolonged closures, it created hazardous driving conditions and significant delays for travelers. The New Mexico Department of Transportation, NMDOT, worked to monitor the situation, but the nature of flash flooding means conditions can change rapidly, often catching drivers off guard. The I-25 disruptions are part of a larger pattern of severe weather that has affected communities across New Mexico this summer. From the deadly floods in Ruidoso in July to the extensive damage to acequias, historic irrigation ditches, in northern New Mexico, heavy rainfall has impacted everything from infrastructure to agriculture. State and federal resources have been mobilized to assist in the aftermath of these events, but the strain on resources is considerable. As the monsoon season progressed into September, the threat of flash flooding continued, though the focus shifted more toward areas like Lincoln County, where the Ruidoso burn scars remain highly vulnerable. However, the August incident on I-25 serves as a crucial point of reference for the risks faced by anyone traveling through the state during the monsoon season. It underscores the need for constant vigilance and preparedness, even on major arteries like I-25, which are not immune to the power of flash floods. Moving forward, climate change models suggest that such intense, short-duration rainfall events may become more frequent in the American Southwest. This presents an ongoing challenge for transportation agencies like NMDOT, requiring significant investment in infrastructure improvements to better manage runoff and protect critical roadways. For now, the August flooding on I-25 serves as a compelling case study of the vulnerabilities facing New Mexico's transportation network in a changing climate. A woman died after being swept away by floodwaters in Cochise County, Arizona, late Friday night, according to the sheriff's office. The Cochise County Sheriff's Office search and rescue team said it was first activated around 9:30 p.m. local time, Friday, for a swift water rescue on Ocotillo Road. A woman had called 911, saying her vehicle was sinking in a flooded wash. When deputies arrived, they saw a man being carried downstream in a separate wash and pulled him to safety. Crews later located the woman several feet from her vehicle. She did not survive. The sheriff's office expressed condolences to her family and urged drivers not to cross flooded washes. Just hours later, around 1 a.m. Saturday, the team was dispatched again after a man reported being trapped at the bottom of the Lavender Pit mine near Bisbee. Security could not reach him due to the condemned roads, so Tucson DPS Air Rescue Ranger 2 was called in. A hover ingress was used to lift the injured man out, and he was flown directly to Copper Queen Hospital for treatment around 2 a.m. Officials thanked all volunteers involved in both rescues and repeated the warning, "Turn around, don't drown." Meanwhile, a person is safe after being rescued from a vehicle stuck in a flash flood in North Phoenix. Phoenix fire officials said rescue teams were sent to the area near Dixoletta Drive and North Valley Parkway around 5 a.m. Reports indicated a vehicle was stuck in a flash flood with an occupant inside. Fire officials said Phoenix police were able to help the person to safety before fire crews arrived. The first emergency crew on scene stayed to evaluate the person pulled from the vehicle. Authorities have not released the identity or condition of the person involved in the incident. Showers and storms moved through the state and valley overnight into Friday morning. The storms, at times, packed a punch of heavy rain, hail, and frequent lightning. Officially, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport picked up just under 1/4 of an inch of rain Thursday night into Friday morning. Additional storm activity will be possible through the day and into this evening. In the valley, storm chances sit at 20% with a forecast high of 98 degrees. It will run near average, which is 100 degrees, through the next several days thanks to our weather pattern. While the declining monsoon high tries to push some moisture our direction, an area of low pressure will push in from off the Pacific and guide moisture our way too. The combo should allow for lingering storm chances around Arizona this weekend and early next week. In Phoenix, the temperature is forecast to hit 100 on Saturday and 99 on Sunday and Monday. Expect a 10% chance of rain Saturday or Sunday. It will increase to 20% from Sunday evening into Monday. Yet again, any storms could produce heavier rain, lightning, or gusty winds. By mid-next week, temperatures will warm back to the 100 to 106 range as conditions start to dry out.
I think we could make it through that.
No, it's blocked up.
No, just move them. We'll drive right through.
No. That's actually really high up.
Oh, I know.
I am.